Welcome. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. It is a beautiful Monday, so I hope you are having an amazing day. So, welcome to Pet Pro Power Hour, where we shine a spotlight on innovators, entrepreneurs, leaders in the pet industry. Each week, we want to dive into the stories behind the success, people, uncovering the challenges faced and the lessons learned along the journey. So join us as we explore the passion and dedication driving the pet world forward, and let's get inspired by these trailblazers, just making a difference for our furry, feathered, or scaly friends or finned friends. So this is the Pet Pro Power Hour, right? Where every pet pro has a story. And today we are honored with the presence of Miss Juanita. So you can follow her on Instagram, and of course Juanita will let you know as soon as we let her in. But Juanita is, I'm gonna just go ahead and read off her intro before she comes in because, here we go. Y'all ready? Ride with me. So Juanita is a seasoned expert in the pet industry with over 15 years of diverse experience, including corporate leadership, marketing, management, and entrepreneurship. As a consultant, published author, and founder of Bring Your Own Dog, an up-and-coming pet-focused marketing agency, Juanita has dedicated her career to elevating the pet industry for brands and individuals. Throughout her career, Juanita has held key roles in customer relations, social media management, and marketing coordination, and using these roles to drive successful campaigns and fostering strong brand identities. Within Bring Your Own Dog, Juanita hopes to create an innovative approach to influencer marketing, brand consulting, mentoring, and public relations within the pet industry. So her extensive background and hands-on experience makes her a sought-after consultant and thought leader. That's why she's here. Her passion for people, pets, and her commitment to collaboration and excellence shines through in every project that she undertakes. She works with individually, excuse me. She works with helping pet brands reach new heights and elevating the pet industry forward. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get Miss Juanita, the creator, joined in so we can have a quick chat. Let's see. All right, let's see. I see Juanita. You gotta. I think you have to send me a request. Oh no. And just make sure y'all are liking, sharing, following the page, supporting all of our guests and everybody because we want to be able to support each other as we grow this thing on out. So, just waiting for Juanita to come on. Yeah, make sure y'all share with your people. Let people know that we are on. So, let's go ahead and send these out real quick because this is going to grow, people. And we're just going to keep on growing, keep on glowing. Let's go ahead, get this out of here. No, hold on. Resend. Okay. Sending now. Let me know. Did you get that? We was having some technical difficulties. See, I had the intro down and everything.
Yes, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I was just trying to do it on my PC.
No, you're fine. How are you today?
Good, thank you. Thank you for that wonderful intro. I heard all of it. I appreciate it.
Good, good. Well, I mean, how's everything going? What's new? What's new in your world?
Everything is going good. I can't complain too much right now. Here in Arizona now, it's boiling hot, so I've just been hanging out inside the house, working as much as I can. But everything is going good. How about you?
Pretty good. I won't complain. Another successful Monday. So no complaints on my end. Just staying busy.
Yes, it's a nice Monday too. Nice out.
Absolutely. Well, let's get right into it. I mean, I guess, do you mind starting off? I know I read the intro, but just how did you get into the pet industry as a whole?
So funny enough, I got into the pet industry. I just left my job on Fifth Avenue in New York City. For those who don't know, our Fifth Avenue is like Beverly Hills.
Hmm.
And I had a very wonderful high-end luxury retail job, but the lady I worked for was so mean and just one of the meanest people you could work for. One of those like devil wears Prada type of situations.
Uh-huh.
And honestly, one day, she just pissed me off so bad. I was like, I quit. And it was right before Christmas. And literally, I quit a few days before Christmas, but I just reached a wit's end, packed up my locker, and left. And honestly, I just was unemployed for a few months to really figure out, okay, like, what is it that I really want to do? I'm tired of these retail jobs and these people with their attitudes. And I was unemployed for a few months. Then in January, they opened up a corporate salon, a corporate pet store, maybe like a 10-minute bus ride from where I was living. So I was like, okay, cool. It'd be cool to work here. I honestly was still very young at the time, so I really did not care much about working.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, cool. I'll go work here, whatever. So I applied for a part-time job as a bather there. Never bathed a dog in my life. Um, and the store manager was like, well, what are you doing here with this resume and this background? He was like, you shouldn't even be here like looking for a job. And I was like, well, I really, would just like to do something different. Very, anyone knows me, I'm very like, let's just see how it works
Yeah.
out type of person.
No, for sure.
Um, so yeah, I took the job. That was in the store opened in January. I started in April, and then as we know with most corporate places, by July they were like, "Oh, would you like to go to grooming training?" And again, I was like, "Sure." I knew as a kid I always loved animals. We always had animals around, but it's just, especially as a person of color, working with pets is not normalized or really highlighted. So you truly don't even know you could have a career working with animals. But for me, I just incorporated a lot of what I learned in my retail jobs and as far as customer service and building customer experiences, those type of things. I always took it and incorporated it into the salon setting or into, at that store, we did the cash register, daycare, boarding, because the store was so new.
Hmm.
So I really had a chance to tap into every element of the store, which was also great, and incorporating customer service skills and creating great experiences.
Hmm.
Started, there in corporate, and it's gotten me here with you now.
Gotcha. So in the span of still 15 years, or how long was that till now? Is the
So
15?
I stayed in corporate for who was scared to the back of the grooming salon. I actually picked it up and held it in my arms and took it back. Actually was terminated because of that situation. Of course, corporate world, they tied it back into, oh, well, we've told you several times. So essentially, I got fired for having compassion, and at the time, I really thought it was the worst thing that could ever happen to me.
Mhm.
And then from there in corporate, I actually went to a private salon. For those who don't know, the dog father of Harlem, Brian Taylor, and we were together all the way from, sheesh, that was 2014 all the way up until 2020 when COVID came. So
Gotcha.
even after I moved to Pennsylvania, opened my own shop, I still would go to New York on the weekends to just work with Brian, maintain my clientele. And then from there, I transitioned back into corporate. I had my own salon in Pennsylvania, sold that, took a leap to move to Arizona to work for Ryan's Pet Supplies, one of our distributors. And then also in between that, I've also done a lot of other freelance marketing and social media work too in the beauty industry, cannabis industry. So, and that whole 15-year window, pretty much the quick timeline.
No, I'm here for it. And I mean, you learn so much. And I would say you driving back and forth. Well, the drive from Pennsylvania all the way to Harlem,
It's
how long?
about an hour and 45 minutes,
It
I'll
wasn't too
say, but
bad.
honestly, it's literally a straight drive, so it's
Yeah,
not like a bunch of loops. And at that time, since I was still like a new mom and everything, it would really be like my quiet time. So I'd go get like a coffee and a breakfast I like, and really use that time to catch up on my
I
podcast and
feel it.
all that. Or that's also like a lot of the ways I've learned just about more marketing and all those types of things, because I would just utilize that time to have it as my quiet time.
No, absolutely. And we need it. Hey, trust me. I know we need we definitely need our quiet time. Well, I would say, well, my next question would be within all of the experience of going back and forth and learning everything, what prompted the transition to pivoting out of grooming, but into the other spaces as far as like marketing and working for Ryan's and everything like that. Because a lot of people they may feel like I'm just a groomer, or I'm just a pet sitter, or I'm just a dog walker, I'm just a vet tech, and that's all I have to offer. But they don't realize that there are a whole bunch of different things that they can do within the pet space,
Hmm.
still working, in their passion. Like for me, for example, growing up, all I knew was being a veterinarian, until I actually went to school and I networked and I was like, okay, I actually enjoy being a vet tech more. And then I transitioned from being a vet tech into owning my own business, where I just started off as pet sitting and now I'm grooming. So it's
Hmm.
like, what prompted your transition and your pivoting, just so that it can be an inspiration to others thinking like, maybe there's something else that I want to do.
Yeah, for sure. And that lately has been a really big narrative online that I've been seeing. A lot of people just feeling stuck and like they just have no end. And one, my biggest key advice would be, don't look to others to kind of guide you to where you've been. Um, for me, having all those high-end retail experiences, working in banking, working in furniture, working on Fifth Avenue, for me, I've always had a passion for seeing what happens in the back end, to the point of getting the things on the racks, to getting the people in the door, okay, make sure you know all of the features and the selling points and all those type of things really, um, for me, like shaped how I look at the pet industry. So it's like, okay, no, your dog is not just coming for a bath. Your dog is coming for a personalized bath or a customized bath. And my shop only has 16 ounces because I felt like every dog's hair needed something different. So then you go and tell the client, okay, this particular shampoo has aloe vera oil. The aloe vera does this, the coconut oil does this, and really just showing the client, like, no, this is what I'm putting into your dog to give you the results that you want. So for me, just always the marketing is the core and the foundation of all of the experiences, right? If you have terrible customer service but really great food, I mean, some people will still come and deal with you because of the food, but it
Yeah.
shouldn't be like that. Um, so for me, the real turning point was when I became my own business owner, and then just I was in a predominantly white town with the target age group of baby boomer generation. And I was
Hmm.
the only black female dog groomer within a 2-hour radius. You would have had to gone all the way to Philadelphia to find another black.
Oh
And
wow.
so for me, the owner before me in the shop was still taking checks and not charging people sales tax, and people would really give me hell for it.
Yeah.
And then not only that, being a person of color, I would have people come like, oh, you're Juanita? Oh, I think I'm going to just wait outside for a little bit. And all of those type of factors played a part in like, okay, no, I really need to learn how to differentiate myself in this area, in this market, because
Mm-hmm.
it's a targeted group of people you need to service.
For sure.
So I opened my business in 2019, a year before COVID, and I really needed to find ways to be innovative and to really set myself apart from the people who really just operated off of word of mouth, or, oh yeah, well, they're cheap, so we just go down there. I wanted people to really be able to see what happens in a grooming salon, you know, the type of person you're dealing with, all of those important things behind the brand or the company. And so I really studied a lot, as far as running Facebook ads, running Google ads, creating content, showing people what my products do, and giving people a look inside of what goes on a day-to-day basis. And with that comes having to do it all yourself, as any small business owner knows. So I did the
Mm-hmm.
content creation, I did the copywriting, I did the editing. I, came in early on days to, shoot content. All of those things I really made it my duty to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, a few years afterward, I went to a photo shoot with Ryan's Pet Supplies out in California. Honestly, people, just through the power of networking, when I got to the photo shoot, I literally just was like, how could someone come work here? And they were just like, oh, you would work here? And I was like, yeah. Again, very like, not putting too much pressure on it. And they were like, so let's maybe schedule some time when we're done with this to talk about what that looks like. And we literally had a quick meeting on our lunch break at the photo shoot about what it looked like for me to transition.
Okay.
And literally that was in May. And by November, I had a job offer after a few months of going back and forth.
Right.
And it just, to me, it's not just having a passion, but also getting out there and taking risks and asking for what you want out of life. If anyone is looking to pivot, the most important thing you could do is really just tap into the things that you're passionate about, or try to find new passions. Don't feel like you have to, go back to school and get another degree. There's so much information online, and really, I tapped into a lot of information online to really get myself to how I, wanted to gain that knowledge.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And I mean, I commend you for it. It's scary. Like it brings a lot of what ifs. Like, what if this doesn't work? What if, they don't like me? Or what if I don't, perform the way that I need to perform, and things like that. So, with being in a totally new state, with being in a totally new job, new company, new people, how do you prepare yourself for that? How do you keep yourself grounded in that, in that new space?
Yeah, I think the most important thing you can do to keep yourself grounded, even if you're looking to transition, I always challenge everyone to, I know a lot of people, learn to groom and just think like, okay, I learned to groom. Now I need to run and open a salon. But one of my biggest pieces of advice is to really try to work in different environments before you just go up and open a business, especially if you haven't worked in any different environment. It's a blessing to have a grooming business, but if you don't know the foundation of like a corporate aspect, a small business aspect,
Mm-hmm.
then you really will have trouble sometimes connecting with your clientele. So for me, really just going back into the days kind of the corporate mindset, and really just feeling things out, not being afraid to ask questions. And really just hope that you're with a team that does want you to grow and evolve. And even if it's a role that may be underneath you or something like that, or something you may feel like you're underqualified for, I mean, sometimes don't be afraid to also take a step down in order to get yourself back up. I
Mm-hmm.
think where a lot of people just drop the ball at. Sometimes you really need to get back down to the ground level, learn a little bit more and then figure out what you can take away from those roles.
Gotcha. No, absolutely. And sound advice. I have a question. How do you to because you did make the transition, and I know we spoke about it. How do you introduce yourself now?
As far as in what setting?
So to to not be looked at as just a groomer anymore. Like, how do you introduce yourself? So people understand, like, hey, I'm more than just this one thing.
Yeah, that's a challenge I deal with honestly quite often. And I think you really just you gotta talk your shit. Like that's it. That's my biggest key of advice. Like you really have to shut it down respectfully,
Yeah.
but you have to let people know, like, I'm not just a groomer. Even a person who you think is just a groomer, I know groomers that are hairdressers, accountants, used to be lawyers. So
Yeah.
many people have so many different backgrounds, and for me, it's like really checking the behavior when people try to summarize you down like, no, I unfortunately don't play with dogs all day or whatever it is you may think.
Hmm.
And it's also too about, especially from a social media aspect, is diversifying yourself online, right? I have my personal page here that you guys, can access when we get off of this, but you'll see I try to post some of my family. I'll try to post when I, go out and have fun. I don't just post before and after pictures of dogs or even my own dogs for that
Hmm.
matter all the time, because if people constantly just see you with that, they will associate you with that. So I always like to post if I do go out and network or if I connect with other business owners, just kind of diversifying my content online too.
Okay. Okay. No, absolutely. Um, what was I was about to ask you one more thing, and it left me that quick.
That's
Well, it'll come back to me. Let me see.
Here's my dog trying to get in my lap.
See,
Okay.
she wanted to say hi to everybody too,
Mhm.
or is it he, she,
That's Nina.
Nina?
Yes, Lisa, actually, yes, I work in
We
customer service.
do work in customer service.
Mhm. And we create experiences. We do so many other things. It's just the haircut is the least amount. We are admins. We are PR departments. We're so many things, even if it is just a single person.
And I mean, even with saying that, how do you encourage the next entrepreneur to say, like, hey, like, I mean, it's hard, but I mean, you got to do it, but it's like, it's something that you have to do. So, like, how do you make that easier in the journey, within the journey?
Honestly, when I go into different settings now, I just don't lead with that.
Mhm.
If people, say, "Oh yeah, what do you do for a living?" "Oh, I work in, marketing, social media management." And then I also, or if it gets to that point, I can kind of explain how I got there. But I just don't lead with it anymore because I know I'm just more than a dog groomer. And I encourage anyone, it's just like, oh, I'm a pet professional or I work in the pet industry. And then
Mhm.
from there, people will ask you, well, what do you do? Because sometimes if you're so casual, I just groom dogs, then it's like, oh, okay. So, and kind of really just help. We just have to help the world understand what goes on in this industry
Mhm.
and the hard work that people put in. And I think the new generation of dog groomers is working hard to do that, to get people to respect us and see us as more.
Yeah, and so that's one thing that prompted me to put Petlanta together. Was that when we were at Groomed, what, 2 years ago, there were a lot of groomers that one didn't know that there were groomers that looked like us out here,
Mm-hmm.
and then also there were a lot of comments that I didn't realize that there were so many groomers that looked like us around the country. So with you having and I've been grooming now for 5 years. So you have a whole decade, on me, right? So with you having so much experience and time with it, um, what what do you think, prompted this movement for us to really like get out here and showcase our work and really put forth effort into, just saying like, hey, we're out here, we're doing this.
Yeah, I think it just comes from being a minority in this industry, being in so many predominantly white spaces, dealing with so many of the microaggressions that we deal with as business owners, as people of color, as just regular workers, or honestly, I have people that are trainers, I have people who do rescue, and all of us, we all have our stories because for some reason there's a stigma or a stipulation that, people of color can't love animals. And I think that, it gets discouraging. Um, and I think it just lit a fire in us, especially, wanting to be looked at as professionals and really showing the world like we love animals too. And I know for me, a lot of the reason I was inspired to transition back into corporate is because so many of us bust our ass on a day-to-day basis in this industry, trying to make it, practically just begging to, like, for customers, for people to respect us. And for me, I felt like I'm tired of seeing people who have never done the hard work that we do, who have never picked up a clipper, even probably worked in a salon setting, be able to come in, take jobs, make these decisions for us as far as our marketing is concerned, lack of diversity within the marketing.
Mhm.
There's we are still so many years behind, even just from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah.
There's no groomwear created by Black people. There's no groomwear company that spotlights people of color. There was a brand in particular who has some really great items, and I sent them a message and I asked them, oh, I saw that there was some feedback from our groomers in the US about these items. Would you be interested in, you know, maybe talking about bringing them onto the company? And they told us no, because no one over a size 10 looks good in these items. So these are the type of microaggressions we deal with. These are the type of things I hear sometimes.
Mhm.
And, I'm not a malicious person, but for me, I feel like I have a responsibility to combat a lot of that. And while they didn't say it was just people of color, they said people in general. Groomers comes in all shapes, sizes, colors, sexes, us as professionals. So that's just a terrible comment. So I think it's our responsibility as people of color and younger generation of groomers to just take the power back and, do what we have to do to occupy some of these spaces.
For sure. Do you feel like you have more of a reach on the marketing side than when you were just grooming?
I do feel like I have more of a reach. I think, as far as going back into marketing, I've had a chance to like make a lot of connections for people and, help people who may have just been nervous to ask for an opportunity.
Mhm.
Honestly, just builds up the confidence to just speak up for opportunities, show them that it's really not as hard as you think. And
Yeah.
if you don't ask for what you want, you will not get it. So there's people that have been wanting to be ambassadors, teach a class, and I've been, proud to be able to be a liaison to be able to make some of those things happen for people.
No, for sure. Because when as a business owner, of course, and as a groomer, you want to build these relationships up with different companies and businesses. So having somebody that looks like us in the marketing area, it definitely helps because, like you said, there's such a I guess older way of doing things, or such a way that is already ingrained in the company. So when there are new things and new ideas, it's usually frowned upon. Um so thank you, for giving spotlights to, I've seen the hard work that you do with Ryan. So definitely, it's appreciative, and I know that they're appreciative of just being able to say, get more recognition and more vision, and just more eyes on them. So definitely, I just want to say thank you for sure for all
You.
the work that you do.
You.
Um, Now, when it comes to marketing, do you have any advice for, just entrepreneurs and petpreneurs in this space, just with marketing?
My biggest advice from a marketing standpoint is one from a social media perspective, make sure you show yourself. I understand, some of us that we don't have time or creating content is so hard, but that just all comes with putting it into your schedule like with anything else. Even if you take 30 minutes to take some photos of yourself or, have someone just follow you around with the camera or something like that for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
It literally, you can do so much in 15 minutes, but it's important to let your audiences know who you are, again, your other passions if you have them, and just don't pigeonhole yourself into one thing. And then as far as your business is concerned, whether you're a dog trainer, a pet groomer, or, a dog walker, always make it a priority to distinguish yourself from the rest of the people doing it. Sometimes, especially with dog grooming, it can be very oversaturated. But just
Mm.
little things like making sure your space is nice in the background, making sure, you're creating a real experience for your clientele. Maybe that means taking one less dog per day so you can have a few minutes out of the day to build a relationship with your client at check-in. But those little elements are going to be so major in the success of your business. You're very, oh, wham, bam, thank you. Yes, we'll call you when it's done. Stop calling here. Like I see in these groups, people have gotten so short and so like, I don't want people to call me. They need to only text me. There are some people who still will want to call and talk to you on the phone.
Yeah.
They want to hear a voice. They want to get a sense of energy. I wouldn't, no one's ever even groomed my dogs, but I would never just groom my dogs or leave my dogs with someone who sounds impatient or, it's just about the little touches that's going to make such a big difference.
So we gotta learn customer service.
Yes, step your customer service game up.
Yeah, yeah. Like Talisa said, we work in the customer service field rather than the pet industry, right?
Yeah, it's not,
Um,
the pets are the smallest element of your day-to-day basis. It's getting the people to trust you, getting your business to be reputable in a place that people can trust. You want your business to be a destination. Just like Disneyland is a destination for kids, your store can be a Disneyland in your neighborhood just based on the experience that people get when they come and how it makes them feel. Disneyland makes people feel happy and youthful. You can make your pet business feel the same way when someone comes inside.
Now, how do we get them to, and like, it was a comment here to Lisa, how do we get them to feel like, yeah, okay, you have your little pet business, you have your little grooming business, how do we get them to really get them to understand, like, this is a company, like, this is a business, this is not a hobby, this is not a side hustle, like, we rely on this to feed our families, to keep the lights on, things like that. Moving forward, like just being able to teach the next groomer or the next pet sitter or the next dog walker, how do we get to a space where we can really just like really hone in on, hey, respect my business.
I think one, it's about you as the representative and as the face of the business, and it also trickles down into the people you hire. Your staff needs to be on the same page as you as far as customer service, creating those experiences. They need to know the verbiage that you want your business to use. For instance, some people don't like to say nail grinding. They like to say nail filing. I don't say teeth brushing. I say fresh breath treatment.
Mhm.
So your whole staff, see,
Fancy.
there you go. Yeah. Your whole team needs to be on the same page though. And then it also goes into how you look. Yes, grooming can be messy, but your hair shouldn't be disheveled. You should have your smock shouldn't have holes in it. Just like my friend Candace says. And some people actually really get upset about that. Well, it's a messy job. I don't need to look nice. It doesn't matter. I still always do my nails, moisturize my hands between my clients. It's those little things. When people come in, they scan you and that business all over. I guarantee you,
100%.
look at your next new customer, and when they walk in, you'll see them do a panoramic look,
Hmm.
and they're going to check to the environment needs to be nice, and hello, how you doing, really, again, making sure you have that extra few minutes with the new client to really talk to them, have a conversation, tell Fluffy he's so cute 17 times, and get having a nice conversation after too. Oh, not just, okay, your total is $85. All right, Fluffy did really great today. Here's some things you can work on, or this is what I used on him. My recommendation, have the whole conversation. I would think you should come back in 6 to 8 weeks. Should we go ahead and book that right now? Not, oh, would you like to come back in 6 to 8 weeks? No, he should come back in 6 to 8 weeks.
Hmm.
Get that in the system now. So kind of just changing your language and not leaving it open-ended, but just being firm on it, and then the whole team should kind of speak the same way too.
No, 100%. Talisa can be a testament. Well, can definitely attest to this. So when I first started, of course, I was like, oh yeah, you could bring them by, 5 to 6, 7 weeks, whatever the case may be. No, she's gotten in my head that 4 weeks. It doesn't have to be a haircut every 4 weeks, but I need to see your dog 4 weeks. And
Yes,
then with that, we're building a relationship with your dog. They're getting better at grooming. I'm building a better relationship with you, and then I can reward you for staying on a consistent schedule as well. So it's like small things like that has helped the business, stay successful.
mm-hmm.
But then also I'm building relationships on the pet parent side and on the pet side too. So it's just like something like that can definitely I would say make or break the business, but it definitely helps keep the business going for
Definitely
sure.
helps having the dogs maintained. And honestly, business owners, no matter what type of service you offer within the industry, I don't care if it's dog walking, dog sitting, you don't feel afraid to let people know right at that first call. I require all of my clients I'm only accepting onto my schedule, or I'm only onboarding new clients.
Mhm.
Use the right terminology as well. I'm onboarding people, only people who are willing to commit to a 4 to blah week schedule. If that's something that you're interested in, I will be happy to, go to the next step of the booking process. And also have people realize that there's a process, and make your business feel like it's exclusive to get into. Don't make your business open to everyone. If they call at 9 o'clock and say, oh, do you have anything today? Yeah, you might have an open spot, but you might want a person to be like, no, I actually we're full for today, but I can take you in on Friday. They go,
Mhm.
oh, I'll call back. That wasn't a serious customer anyway. It's
Yeah.
important to recognize those red flags so you can know the type of people that you're bringing into your business as well.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, so a lot of it is really just, well, one, establishing, your rules and your set like service agreements and everything like that. Just being really consistent with that. Because a lot of people, as we know, like people will come in, they'll talk to you any type of way or try to talk you down, try to negotiate prices, things like that. So, just really putting your foot down and standing on business, like
That's
for
it.
real.
That's it. You got to stand on business. Exactly.
Yeah,
There's no space for people who bring stress, and it's so
yeah,
important. And I know that it's a problem with most people in our everyday lives. Like, we see red flags, but we choose to ignore them.
mhm,
But it's very important to just kind of be able to take a second, listen to the language. Oh, do you have anything for today? No, that's a person that doesn't prepare accordingly. So guess
yeah.
what? The next time, yeah, they may stay on your schedule, but guess what? The next time, oh, you have anything for today? Oh, dang. And then here comes the guilt trips about, oh gosh, Fluffy's aunt is coming into town and he really needs to be washed.
Gotta
That one
prepare.
situation usually leads into more situations. So it's so important to really just be able to recognize that.
Absolutely. So, and then like Warzi said, you don't have space for people who bring stress. Like we are. It's already stressful as an entrepreneur. It's already stressful as a business owner. It's already stressful as a leader. So now we don't want to allow people to keep bringing in more stress to
Yeah.
stress us out even more. The dogs are already stressed.
Yeah.
We don't want to be like no. It's crazy when everybody is stressed out. You can feel it. You can feel the tension
I
when we're all stressed out.
figure what you put out is what you get back. And some business owners operate how they operate in their everyday life, very chaotic, very. And if you are that type of person where like chaos and anguish is always around you, it will follow you into your business. So
Yeah.
it's very important to be have like a certain personality and that kind of stuff, or you will attract crazy.
No, and I firmly believe like you attract who you do put out. Like we all have a magnetic type of vibe, right? So you put out negativity, you attract negativity. You put out positivity, you attract positivity. So it's
Exactly.
like, yeah, I you have to be really intentional with the type of clientele that you want to build,
It's
your business around.
it's so true.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, I mean, I appreciate it. Let's see. Do you have any, lasting words of encouragement or, any type of, advice for those that are already in the pet care industry or maybe thinking about getting into the industry, for those that watch this video later on?
Right now, in comparison to where I started to where I am now, my biggest piece of advice, and this can go for anyone who may be wanting to get in the pet industry or for that person who's trying to figure out how to get out or transition, it's just don't be afraid to take a risk on yourself. And whether that means you leaving a corporate setting to go private, or maybe leaving your private setting to go corporate, or trying a new industry, or wanting to get into a whole new field, understand that yes, it will have its bumps. Like, my biggest advice from being a business owner and even from this transition is like the first year is going to be the hardest,
Mhm.
no matter what you do. It's new, you're trying to figure it out, you're probably trying to figure yourself out. You're trying to, figure out a way to maybe live with more money or less money. But the first year is always going to be figuring it out, and you're going to want to give up, and you're going to be over it for sure. But really, really, really just push through and just believe in yourself, and know that if you made the decision to transition, you didn't make a bad decision. Never feel guilty about making a decision that will, you know, hopefully affect you in a positive way. You might not see, the results or the return from what you wanted to do right away, but it will come. And I mean, just believe in yourself. And right now, I still have goals to have a marketing agency, and I honestly have goals to be able to fully transition out of the pet industry but still be an asset to the pet industry, because
Mhm.
there are other aspects of marketing I would love to learn. I'm here in Phoenix. We have 30 minutes away, we have the Suns and we have the Diamondbacks. And one of my goals would be able to build my marketing career to a broader aspect so I could get to those type of points. And, while it's a scary thing to do, I'm just really trusting the process and putting myself out there, making sure I
Mhm.
network and align myself in the right type of spaces so that I can eventually get to where I want to be. And, just recognizing that it'll take time. Bumps will happen in the way. My father passed away last year. That shit sent me down a bad, bad path. But
Mhm.
now I'm at a place where, I feel like I'm better, and it gave me a lot of clarity. And I'm at a place where I'm ready to go. And I
Yeah.
have, you know, dreams and aspirations, and I'm just really going to go after them.
No, absolutely. And I'm here to support you each way of the journey, each step of the way. Please let us know and let me know, how we can be of some type of support because it's important to have a good support system for sure.
And it,
And while you were just saying that, I think it's another thing to important, another thing to point out is that this may be something that we're doing now, like you said, with marketing being your passion, right? You're utilizing the pet industry to project your way into a bigger arena, you know.
mhm,
So it's like, yeah, we love grooming, we love working with dogs, and we love working with pet care companies, we love doing this. But if the marketing aspect is, you know, your passion, you know, yeah, we've done what we needed to do in order to maintain our lives. But because marketing, like you said, is just, it's not just the pet
right,
industry, there's
right,
so much out here, you know, that, you know, can benefit from the right marketing coach. You know, there's so many people out here that can benefit, so many businesses. So with that, don't feel like you're locked down doing one thing. If entrepreneurship is your passion, if marketing is your passion, if leadership is your passion, if coaching is your passion, there are so many different aspects of it. But let's utilize what we're doing now to really just like teach us the things that we need to learn in order to grow and do the things that we need to do. So
yep.
I I'm here for it.
Yeah, everywhere you go in life, I don't care if you do something freelance, I don't care if you do something on a smaller scale, take something away from every place you go. What,
Sure.
even if you go to a high-end restaurant just to have dinner, take away what they did in there to make you feel like Nobu is not the same as Texas Roadhouse, right?
Yeah.
So you go to Nobu, that's an experience. And think about the way you feel when you go to Nobu and you get dressed and I don't know if anyone knows, but kind of similar like to what we do as pet industry professionals. Nobu keeps on file everything you eat every time you come. So
Wow.
just as a groomer, you know what Fluffy gets. You don't probably need to write it down in the system. So take away all of those little elements, no matter where you go in life, and incorporate it into what you do now. And even if you're a groomer and you want to be an accountant, if you're a groomer and you like graphic design, you can still take all of those elements and still give it back to the
For
community.
sure.
And if I quit tomorrow and go to a new role, everything I learn where I go next, I will still always bring it back to the pet industry because I
Hmm.
have a commitment to this industry.
Hmm. And then you just teach the next person and
And
teach the next person.
yep, and let's teach the next generation of people how to be better and how to get them to feel like they can do anything because you can. So if you're an accountant, if you're a bookkeeper, graphic designer, social media person, let's get back into our community and teach people all of these elements so the next generation is not still 80 years old and grooming dogs because they have to.
Look,
Look,
leave it up to them. They're not going to be 23 in grooming, okay? They're still going
yeah.
to be figuring it out.
So we really need to buckle down and really believe in ourselves. And whatever you learn, no matter if it's in this industry or not, if you've been in this industry, find a way to give back.
Absolutely. 100%. So never stop learning, never stop teaching.
Never stop.
Well, I appreciate you. Where can everybody find you?
You can follow me on social media, Instagram, Juanita the Creator with an underscore, TikTok, just Juanita the Creator. You can follow Bring Your Own Dog, PHX, that's an abbreviation for Phoenix. Bring Your Own Dog, Phoenix. Honestly, the link in my bio, I have an Amazon storefront too. You can pick up a copy of my book, a pet business guide for 2024. Even though we're halfway in, it's still never too late to start on your journey and maybe circle back to the other pages when you get time. But go to the link in my bio. Everything is there.
No, absolutely. Well, I truly appreciate it. Make sure y'all are following Juanita, and just supporting the journey. And
And
yeah,
support the
that's
Pet Pro Power Hour too. We need to figure
yes.
out. I know we're all spread across all these states, but Phoenix is like the fifth or sixth largest pet friendly city in America. So I really down mine would like to connect with all of my people like you to put on some networking events or some
Yeah.
fun activities for the pet lovers here. You can bring your dog in the grocery store, everywhere, dispensary. They don't say anything.
Oh, say less. We're coming to Phoenix.
They
We'll
don't
be
say
out there.
anything. But
No,
yes, come on, we need to do it big and kind of just spread the love and information around.
absolutely. And I think that's where it starts because we have to show them that it's okay to do that. You know,
It is.
it's okay. Can more people be interviewed on this next
Oh,
topic?
we can
Uh,
definitely do a Zoom,
yeah,
a
absolutely.
coaching thing. I am one of my goals. Sorry, one more thing for 2025 is to launch a coaching program. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, I have some time, but I want to make sure I have the time for the people, not just like, oh, I have a coaching program and then just don't have time. So
For
just keep
sure.
your eyes out, follow me, and I will let everyone know.
All right, just keep me updated, and we got you. And I would say to Reality Pets, I think it would be pretty cool. I know we usually do like a one-on-one, but having some people come in and just ask questions, I think that would be a good segment for us to have. Just moving forward. I'm still working this thing on out too, so we figured it out. But I appreciate the questions. It definitely helps me, figure a thing, just as we progress we could definitely add to. But Juanita, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for answering my questions and just being a teacher and a student at the same time. It speaks volumes to your personality and the fact that giving back is such a huge part of your life as well. And we definitely need more of that as we're transitioning into a more collaborative state rather than competition because as we all know and as we see, the more we collaborate, the better things are. So I truly appreciate you. Please let me know if there's anything that I can support you on personally with Happy Hearts or anything, and we'll be happy to do that as well. Okay.
For sure. And if anyone is going to Super Zoo, I'll be at Super Zoo in the Andis booth. And if you'll be at Hershey, which is in September, I will be at Hershey. I'll be teaching clients versus customers. But just stop by and say hi, honestly.
We love it. We love it. I'm trying to get over to Super Zoo, but we're
Yes,
we're, we're figuring something out.
is the best
Yeah.
show. You have to go to Super Zoo if you don't go to any other shows. Seriously. It's the
Yes. We're working on it. Well, people, thank you for your time. Thank you for spending time with us. This has been the Pet Pro Power Hour through the PetX Network. If I don't see you or hear from you before, I will see y'all next Monday with another guest and another Pet Pro Power Hour. Let's do it.
so much, Wayne. Bye, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for taking time out of your day.
No problem. Thank y'all.